Right.
On the button. Can you do a roll call, please, Kathy?
Tracy? Here. Ed?
Here.
Jeanette? Here. Marlene?
Yep.
Colin?
Here.
Kelly? Yes. Paul?
Here.
Thank you. Great. Stand up for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Okay, citizens' comments. Are you here to?
I am.
Okay, great. If you can come up to the mic, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So thank you for letting me speak here. My name is Mike Moser. I am the president of the Hamilton Junior Chargers Baseball Organization. So we are a baseball organization. Oh, sure. We have a PO box. My home address is N50 W17288 Sheffield Lane. It's in Menominee Falls. Absolutely. We are a baseball organization that services 7-year-olds all the way up to 16-year-olds. We have about 175 to 180 kids in our program. The reason that I'm coming to you today, we had a conversation with Mike Lund in the summer. We are constricted by the number of fields that we have access and availability to, specifically for our age groups of 10 years old through 12 years old. What we did was we met with Mike, we looked at some of the local parks and diamonds in the area, and specifically looked at Lisbon Oaks as a possibility of one that could be expanded for that specific age range. Not to get too granular, but the younger kids work up to bases at 60 feet. The middle age kids, which we're talking about, the 10 to 12-year-olds, need 70 to 80 feet. That's where we're really limited. The younger kids and the older kids, we can offset at some of our school district fields. That middle age group we struggle with. So kind of what we came to Mike with is we have some funds. We have a fundraiser every year that we kind of, about $40,000 to $45,000. And we can either use it on some of our indoor facilities or refurbish or improve diamonds and fields for our club. So we had reached out to Mike and said, is it a possibility to partner with the village on that specific field to extend the utility of Lisbon Oaks? So instead of just being 7, 8, 9, could we adjust the way that the infield is set up, extend some of the outfield dimensions, put up a fence, and then make that have the ability to house 10 through 12-year-olds. And so when we talked to Mike, he said, this is something we'd be interested in doing. It sounds like, at least initially reviewing, it sounds like other clubs have initiated conversations, but haven't gone much farther than the initial conversations with Mike. And so that's really what I'm here to kind of introduce. Sounds like hoping to get it on an agenda for further discussion down the road. But yeah, that's really what I'm here for.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You have his contact.
Is it for games and practice?
It would be for games and practices. Yeah. Yep.
And Mike has got your.
I'm sorry,
What's your phone number?
414-217-2749. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
I'll reach out to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the night.
Yep, you too. Anybody on Zoom for comment?
No.
No, okay, good. Okay, blah, blah. Approval of meeting minutes from our September 26th meeting.
The only thing I would have to add is there was an omittance of, at the last meeting, I had asked that we have the dates and the times on there for the different events. And I know we don't have a date for Winterfest, but Easter was not on there. And I did want to bring, talk about some stuff on the Easter egg hunt. No, it's not on. An updated meeting or an updated minutes?
Yeah, there was an updated one that got sent out after the original.
For a minute?
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
I saw it.
Here, I'll see if I can find it.
Oh, she's gonna look.
But it has the Easter.
It does have the Easter on there? Oh, good. Okay.
We're talking about dates or what?
Yeah, I'd like to see the dates of all the festivals on every meeting because remember one year it got really totally screwed up. A board member gave the wrong dates to the newspapers. And so Easter is on the agenda.
Yeah, extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, updated here. Oops, I
did not
hate
get
this
that.
trackpad. Oh, okay.
There are some amended minutes, so I want to make sure we're approving the amended minutes.
Not the minutes, but the
No, this-
agenda.
Oh, no, we're
talking
about the minutes right now. This,
Okay.
this one's no good. There's
Okay.
another one that had, it says amended on there.
So it is in the minutes.
Yeah, it's here.
It's in the minutes, but it's not on the agenda. That's what I'm asking. That if it could be on the agenda every month, that when something comes up, like I had a question to ask on the Easter egg hunt, no, we can't ask it today because it's not on the agenda. So,
Extravaganza.
yes,
We have it on, we are talking about the festival.
the community fest, but not the Easter extravaganza. And I do still need a flyer for that. And I haven't gotten that yet.
The Easter?
Yes. Nope, I didn't get it. It's probably someplace, that's all. But if it is on the minutes, then that's wonderful.
So we can just move past until she gets. it.
Sure. Yep, okay.
That's fine.
Does anybody have any correspondence to share?
Yeah, the other correspondence is there any interest in the committee members to getting together for a Christmas party?
Yeah, I sent that out.
Yeah.
Jeanette asked. Now, remember, you're all invited to the
Town party,
town,
yeah.
Village one.
Is there a date on the building?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the first, I believe it's the first Saturday in December.
Thank you.
I have it on there, but I believe it's the second, December.
Thank
2nd.
you. Hi, how are you?
I'm sorry, what was that? December what?
Second. December 2nd.
And at what time is that?
Um, I
Is
don't-
it
I
evening?
don't know off the top of my head. It's
Evening.
December.
Okay,
Not worried about Christmas yet.
that's not even too much,
6:30 cocktail time, then 6:30 to 7.
something like that, yeah.
Historically,
We didn't
Okay.
change any.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So if anybody's interested, then can they just give me a call? Doesn't have to be gone through these,
It should,
because this
send
is,
it if you're interested, are you interested in it? Are you
To do
interested?
something separate, just the parks, and I'd
Just
be
the parks?
interested.
yeah, just,
Okay, then we don't have to do a walking forum. We're
No.
in open public right now. We can discuss it, correspondence.
So when we're at the party, we're a walking forum, so we have to not discuss parks business.
That's
Okay.
Talk about parks.
okay,
So, I mean, I'd like us to get together, you know, we did it before COVID, we would get together
Mm-hmm.
one evening, and it was really fun, because we saw each other at an event that we weren't volunteering and quite, you know, working at, and it just gave us another opportunity to kind of get to know each other.
Yeah,
So it was
I'm
fun.
game for it.
And, you know, you just paid for your own meal, or your own drinks, whatever you wanted, and it was just a nice social, event.
can we do something like, is everybody want to let me know where they want to do it, if they want to do it during the day? If it's at night, I got to get a ride. But if we want to just do a luncheon, or do we want to do it at somebody's house? One year we had it at
Why don't
somebody's
you
house
put together a bunch of questions, send it to me and I'll send it.
and
to
send
everyone.
it out, okay,
And I think probably.
That way we can get a,
You know, some bar or restaurant, not at somebody's home.
we have to do a notice.
Well, and I would think an evening, because a lot of people are working.
yeah, and do we want to have spouses? Yeah, I'll make out a list,
Thank you for your consideration.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay, I'll do that and I'll get it to you.
All of these.
Okay.
No spouse.
Okay,
No spouses?
No, I-
Oh, come on, see your wife.
okay, so any other correspondence? Okay, so then let's go back then to the amended minutes. You could get a chance to peek at that, Marlene.
Sure, I make approval of the amended minutes.
Okay, Marlene first, anybody second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye, any opposed? Okay,
who seconded it?
Danette,
No, Tracy.
oh, Tracy did, I'm sorry. You just said aye. It's been a long day. Okay, moving on, to the reports section, Mike is not here, so do you have a report for him or?
I believe it's in your packet,
Okay,
if you have any questions on it.
when is
The-
he back, just out of curiosity?
Uh. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure.
the-
Everybody's aware
It's been
that
a-
Mike's dad passed away, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We were at the funeral.
Okay,
Where did I read? I guess Mike was here, I would have asked him. There was some damage done apparently.
Yeah.
To that area.
Oh, some
Do you have
vandalism?
any,
To the,
um,
to what area?
To the pump area.
The
or
pump area.
waterfall Area, the John Brayton.
Yes, we asked, somebody asked about that and I did not get any notification.
I got a
I
call
thought it was
from,
down below that there was some vandalism.
no, that was another time. I got a call from somebody who was going for a walk. And they said, hey, who pulled out two of the tall grasses? And they were literally pulled out by the roots and thrown on the side up at the John Greiton. And I had, when I talked to Mike, he gave me some information. And I said, hey, what happened? He said, oh, some grasses got ripped out and the rock was thrown in the water.
Mhm. So he just
And,
took care of it. There was no.
yeah, but it's
but there was no,
vandalism.
there was no insurance.
No.
Claims.
The only thing I'd like to say though is this is the second time this year we've had vandalism up there, big time the first time. And there was damage done. And is that damage been repaired? There was broken windows,
Yes.
holes through the walls. That's all been repaired
Yes,
Broken windows, where, which,
on the parks.
on the
um,
park maintenance buildings.
Maintenance building.
Yeah. So,
They don't have cameras over there?
no,
They do
that's,
now.
they have to get security cameras.
They do have some cameras. now.
They have just trail cameras, which are very limited,
Yeah, but it's better than nothing.
better than nothing. But years ago, we had gone with Scott up to Heartland to get a whole thing on cameras. And there's stuff available that is not that expensive. And it should be done up there big time. Because we've had a lot of trouble up there with vandalism.
Well, I think part of the challenge that we have is just, police officer presence too, because if they're on another call, they have to prioritize things and that's kind of somewhat isolated back there. So not to say that we shouldn't do something,
Yeah.
but, we've got to sort of keep that in mind.
Okay, that's all my
okay.
2 cents.
Did,
worth.
So nothing more on the,
Mike stuff.
on Mike's stuff.
on Mike's.
And Brad did send an email. He was not going to be here, so we'll go by that. So we'll move on to number 7, unfinished business discussion and necessary action on Park Pavilion sports field fees.
So I don't know how far you want to go on that, because he's not here, so. There's a couple things to keep in mind. He mentioned at the last meeting that, he had, that he had noticed that his field use was getting used more so because of, our prices were lower than Sussex, but, I don't know if that's a bad thing.
Well, maybe
And really low compared to the other ones.
well,
Yeah.
in light of what we can't talk about, what was brought up in the citizens' comment, should we regroup on that and?
Well, the field charges itself, I think we need to. I think we need to get a feel for, if we want to price ourselves, so then people just use Sussex and don't use ours. And, I mean,
Well,
Or-
I don't think anybody, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't want to do that.
currently it's $25, he's asking to bring it up to $40, I think that's what Sussex is.
I think we
So-
should be in line with everybody else. 25 is nothing.
And a lot of that. Drag and stripe on the weekend.
Yeah.
And so you're bringing people in for overtime, if they have activities, things for baseball. Because you see some of the different charges, if they need the field or the baseball diamond drag and line. For things that are like. Big games and things. They're doing a back to back with different teams and the like. You can't have a 4 o'clock team plan on something that was straight up Friday afternoon. And so that's where I think some of the different fees come in. To cover that overhead. You know,
Well, could that be a separate, would that ever be a separate fee to do that, or?
so that's part of it.
Let's
go
see, did you
further
read
back
through all
in there
this
and you
packet?
see
I did
how
not.
that's- And I think even in Lisbon. They may have had a separate fee if they needed to. Depending or not. Some of the other. Communities.
Baseball is in Richfield. Or in Germantown is $10 for a baseball field. And. No lights. No prep, then prep is $60 with lights. And it's per hour. And then they have a tournament fee. As well. No lights for soccer, $10 resident, non-resident 15, and that's per hour.
The question is, are we looking at the, giving at the possibly change or alter or our fees?
That's the discussion,
what-
yes.
yeah, that's
the
what-
discussion.
Well, no, we have a lot of data in front of it. However, given, circumstances of why we're not here, perhaps it could be something.
To put on the next.
I agree.
Mhm.
I mean, if anyone has a background on this, it's Mike.
Yep.
And Paul's comments were very.
And the fees didn't really go up that
I
much.
agree. And I'd like to see how the
Yeah.
possibility of, this, what this gentleman brought to us would play into that as well.
If we're, certainly, we should be, I would generalize and say we should be price competitive.
Mhm.
Maybe that would put us in a quadrant of maybe either up or down by, let's say, $10 or $20 for whatever item.
Mhm.
But I specifically don't know.
If-
How, you know,
Ed, if you look on this, when it has the old form is like level 2 is 25.
Yeah.
New form, it's 40.
yeah.
And that's
That's a
not,
big, that's a big jump.
it's not really that much, not with what's going
Well, the
on.
dragging went from 30 to 65.
Yeah, I remember in a discussion, and maybe it was your board meeting, or maybe just have conversation, and then left it fun. That Mike had said that, we were booked up, that it was highly competitive. And that we didn't have enough, in other words, if we had more, let's say, field, we could rent them,
Mhm.
like this gentleman's presentation this evening. I was thinking, well, we have other parks, but we do have room at that park possibly. I don't know how much room a baseball diamond takes.
Yeah, well, I think he walked out there with Mike and found that there was enough space to expand that field,
Mhm.
to get that 70 foot between the bases. So that's a field that can be, and although we have other fields that have a larger footprint, they're too large for this group, this 10 to 12 group, so.
Do we need a motion to table or?
Just
Just
have,
put it on the next meeting.
Yeah. I have a question too. Do we have anything in here, and I didn't have a chance to read this over on soccer fields? Is there anything at all that maybe we should check into that for next week, next meeting?
On soccer fields,
Soccer fields
If they maintain soccer field?
They don't do anything.
Also.
yeah, but for down the road soccer
but they
fields.
stripe it once and then it's striped
Yeah.
until they cut the grass again. So it's not like a baseball diamond.
Yeah, where it's all getting rubbed out.
Every game they have to go back and reline.
Yeah, so let's, you know, I agree. I think that's a good idea
Mhm.
with Mike
Table
here.
that.
Well, yeah, well,
That'll give everybody a chance to read this over.
So I'll have Mike look into soccer fields.
Yeah,
Okay.
and pickleball. That was another one
We
that
don't
came.
have
up.
pickleball,
We should.
but we don't have,
You need
so
courts.
we can't.
No,
we
I
can't-
didn't
Can't
say,
change the fees.
no, I'm not talking about fees. I'm saying we should look into pickleball courts. While we were talking about soccer and different things, that word came to my mind. That is something that has been brought up over and over by people saying, hey, can we use that basketball court for a pickleball court?
So I guess.
I may
definitely
not be the appropriate spot right
Definitely
here.
not the new basketball court.
Yeah.
But but were you asking about the soccer fields to talk to Mike about adding soccer fields?
Adding
or the
soccer
fees
fields
for
and
soccer fields?
both,
Okay,
and pickleball.
I think pickleball would be a pretty
it's gonna be
major
pricey.
expense, yeah.
Yeah.
Pickleball would be more expensive.
Very important. You need a lot.
It's
of
pricey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and I don't know if
just-
we're
but
gonna
it's
get that in the
big.
budget this year.
But it's so.
No.
popular,
No,
so
not
I
for
know
this
people
year.
that
No,
have to
budget.
go
Yeah,
to
But
I
it's
think, I
something
think
that
it's
we
worth
can-
talking about, yeah.
We should put it on the back burner.
Every
At
time
least
I
we
drive,
thought-
every time I drive down the roads, there's people on this pickleball court,
Oh, yeah.
every time, no matter what time of day it is, there's people out there.
I know a lot of people that end up having to go to like Waukesha or somewhere else because there's not one around. here.
There's none
Nice if
around
There
here.
was one out
It's
here.
the senior revolution,
I think it is.
Mhm.
because it's a pickleball thing. Yes.
Yeah,
We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, let's not catch the tail end of that.
I assume that the new basketball court in Oakwood Park is off limits to pickleball.
Yes.
oh, I'm sure it would be, yeah.
Family, obviously.
Yeah, that, I was there at the opening of that too, and it was really very, very well attended. I was actually surprised how many people were there. They had at least, what, 200 people there, at least.
On September 9th.
Yeah,
We had a really cool, on the website, on Facebook, we have an overhead of.
yeah, they had a
so-
guy with a drone, a
Yeah.
camera on the drone, and everybody stood on the court and they took a picture
I
going down. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was very cool. Very
I didn't
nicely
get
done,
that.
yeah.
Pretty nice.
Okay,
Moving.
so we'll
Right.
move along from that now. We'll table that for next time. So we'll move on to new business discussion and necessary action on the 2024 mass event fee.
So he only found one municipality that had a mass, permit. That's all he was able to give us was the city of Oconomowoc. So I don't know if, our municipalities around us are not not doing mass event fees. He wasn't, really interested in creating a new fee. Because if they paid for I'm thinking this was because of Bonafide's party is why you're thinking about a mass event. Cause that's the only mass event we've had other than our own events at any of our parks.
Hey, Kathy,
Yes.
when I reviewed and looked through the Oconomowoc accident, it seems they have it set up because everything that they talked about is on the streets for parades or festival, or they're closing the streets down, like a big art festival they have.
They do?
Those type of events where you need to bring the police in for traffic, with cones up, no parking, it's completely different
Mm.
from what we're looking at in Lisbon here, where all the activity probably would be at the community park or one of the other parks, as opposed to closing down one of the roads or highways.
Yeah, so I think he didn't find any other municipality that had a mass event fee, so, I don't think that's something that
Yeah.
we'd be looking at. We'd have to figure out
Well, would there be
difference
like,
in fees for our shelters, that's all.
or if there was over a certain number, would there be like a upcharge for, you know,
Well, if they,
cleanup
like,
or whatever?
what happened for Bonafide was they ended up having to, they paid for all of the pavilions in the park. Mm.
So not just one pavilion and then had 300 people, they just paid for every pavilion in the park.
Mm.
And so they, you know, paid to have that. And they also paid to have a fire truck.
Mm.
Just in case, because they had fireworks. So,
Kathy, quick
Yes.
question, out of curiosity, mass event, et cetera, we're talking about an area that's basically secure. Like, for example, Milwaukee Art Museum does a art festival, which they started again this year, the area is fenced off.
Mhm.
I don't know how much that costs, but, and you go in through certain designated gates, and hence you pay a fee, whether a member or not. Is that, because I don't think, does Oakon do that? 'Cause they
no,
have the, I can't think of the name of the park, but the band shell is the beach. It's right
yes,
West of
yeah.
town. No, they don't.
That's not-
Here, and if you read this, it's all
That's-
that street activity like they did for their art festival.
Their art festival is
Yeah,
down.
And their art festival isn't, fenced in.
No, it's on Lac La Belle in the park.
I think the part in here, this paragraph, where it talks about mass events. Anybody who comes in should just do something like this. I'd recommend that any group that exceeds a shelter's capacity, or 2 or more shelters are required, need to fill out a form, give details. Forms submitted to park committee, park supervisor, administrator, and just deal with it like that.
I
This,
would agree.
this paragraph just about covers it here.
All right, we can keep that on park facility.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move along to B, discussion and What?
Excuse me, Paula.
Yeah.
So are we as Lisbon going to?
we're not going to have a
something
separate,
written Similar to what I'm seeing here from the O'Connell?
no, we decided we did not want to do that.
So we don't want anything in writing, so each is just a.
Just something like what
just
he's
a
done
case by
here.
case.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like this
What
paragraph.
Mike had
here.
written.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
out,
that's all you need.
So we
and
will
that
have
would be
something. We will
something.
have
yeah, it's not gonna be
something
formal,
written.
like, you know,
No, it's not a big.
Okay.
yeah.
Because
I mean, it'll be
having
part of
something-
our rental policies, that's
Right.
all.
So let's get something written.
Do we do,
and
do
then-
we need a motion on that?
No, because we actually tabled that,
Oh,
the
right.
shelters for
Okay.
next
Yeah.
meeting,
it.
shelters and sports.
Got it,
fields.
got it.
So that verbiage would be put together for next month's meeting, so we could look at that, or do you want Mike's input yet, or
It's
I
right here.
guess this is it.
Just that paragraph would be incorporated into
Okay,
into what we've got.
all right.
Yep.
thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to B, discussion and necessary action on the organization of the Community Fest. So we had kind of talked about that last meeting. And hold on. So we had talked about kind of different things that people were going to be collecting information on. So Kelly is not here. I have got all the information and contact stuff. I've not made any of the phone calls yet, so Tracy, you had inflatables. Did you get anywhere with
I
that?
did get an email back from Mike at Heartland Inflatables. He sent me one back. We do have Saturday, 6:15, 24 available. I gave him the times. He said we could do, we were talking about doing like they have bigger obstacle courses.
Yes.
For bigger kids,
Yep.
bigger ages, not so boring with the other little ones that we had.
Yep.
So he said he could, excuse me, do a package deal of a 40-foot obstacle and one of the bouncy, either the baseball or the bouncy house combo. That would be $685. I don't remember what we paid for the two.
Well, do you remember
last
off the
year
top of
was
your head what we paid for the two last year?
I
I didn't bring
can't
it up.
remember. I don't have
Yeah.
my email.
Yeah, Marlene's looking it up right now.
But he said also if you wanted to add, because we had the baseball one and we had a basketball throwing one.
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
now we talked about maybe putting an obstacle in there. So he just sent me a quote for the 40-foot obstacle and then one of the combo units, either the baseball or the thing for $685. And he said you could also add a third the baseball or basketball interactive. Oh, no, we had three last year. We had the baseball and the basketball and the bouncy house.
Yes.
So we had three last year.
Yep.
Um,
So it would be 685 for two, one of them being the 40-foot obstacle, so it would be an additional
And then,
amount.
and then one being the combo, he says you can also add like a third interactive, which would be the baseball or the basketball for $100 more.
So what? For $100 more, either or, not both.
Yeah.
He can only bring out three at a time.
615.
Did it sound like he can only bring out three things at a time?
I don't think so.
I would think he could probably do more than that.
That trailer was pretty big.
Yeah,
He brought
so
the stuff in. So I mean, we can up it. We were just kind of waiting to see what was gonna get approved at the town or the village meeting to see what was approved for funds for the festival.
well, we put the whole amount in for approval. It's not done yet, obviously, but we'll see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I can get back to them and say, it's like, okay, so if we do what we had last year
Plus,
plus the
Yeah.
obstacle. I can send them a message and just get a quote on that.
because I think both the basketball and the baseball things were, the kids were at those things
Oh,
all
yeah.
day. It wasn't
Yeah.
like one
At
was
Bouncy
empty.
House, there was something
Oh, yeah.
always going on.
So that will just, obviously, we're gonna have to have more people, riding herd on. We might have to have like a size limitation for the bouncy house and greater than for the, I'd love to think of that through. Maybe he's got some information on that too, like what would be safe for what size child. Okay, yeah, so let's look at, the 4 pieces.
Okay.
Okay,
Follow-up.
yes,
See, I-
yes.
I missed members meeting. Did that also include the climbing wall?
this was separately, well, this is,
But
yeah,
that's separate.
yeah, we would want to do the climbing wall again. That was a huge hit.
Correct.
And that, and the inflatables he has in here, all prices include delivery, setup and removal. No deposit is required and it's free cancellation before delivery.
That was
So,
675, did you say?
685
685.
685.
Thank you.
for the 40-foot
The 40
and
foot
one
the
other.
bouncy house.
and one other, right? So
And then
two
if we-
pieces.
And then if we added one of the other ones, it'd be $100 more, and I'm sure.
Yep.
Throw another one in there for your. baseball
Okay,
too.
cool. That's excellent.
But I did, 20,000, 500 in the budget. Which, because we didn't have anything for Winterfest, I threw in $300, but we didn't have any costs for Winterfest and Brad didn't say that he needed any money in,
It wasn't that much.
Was 350.
It was-
Said was what was normal.
S'mores and hot dogs.
S'mores and hot dogs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Drinks.
Chocolate mix.
was
So,
$200-300, I think, or something like
or
that.
so,
Yeah.
so
You got
that's,
condiments, you got paper plates, you got napkins.
Yeah.
So
couldn't get my
assuming,
over.
assuming that the budget is passed as it stands right now, we'll have
More than
a
enough.
sizable budget to do this with,
yeah.
to really put on something great. this year.
so we talked last time about, maybe maybe a petting zoo. Kelly was gonna look into that.
Yep. Yep.
Wait, oh, it's-
And then Hoofbeats, Danette, do we know
Yes, I
anything
did
more about
reach out to
her?
her.
Yep.
She is very much interested. I know the festival is from 11 until 4. She and I discussed that she would like to be there between 11:30 and 3:30. Those would give her the 4 hours. She wanted to catch more people on the front end. Last year we started at noon and some of the people who came there at 11, may
Had
have
nothing
missed
to
that.
do.
So,
Yeah,
she just asked if we would be willing to, 11:30 to 3:30. Her rate is $300 per hour. That is up from last year. But she said her costs have gone up and such, so the 4 hours for her would then be $1,200.
Okay.
Versus it was just over 1,000, it was like 1,060.
Yeah, 1,050 is similar.
So with the 11:30 to 3:30, would that be, she'd be unloaded and ready to go at
She's
11:30?
ready to go.
Yeah,
The rides
okay.
are beginning, yes, at that, just like last year, the first ride went off at noon, and the last one, she was back at 2 minutes to 4, so yeah, I was there. It was 4 hours of, constant likewise.
It's hard to shut down early, though. We tried that with the balloon guy and the face painters.
Well, that's why it's good to start early, you know. It's the plan.
So, she is happy to send the contract to you, Kathy.
Okay.
I told her I would get back with her, maybe just say that, yes, I presented it tonight. But she does know that, you know, we have no monies that are guaranteed at this point, so, you know, I just said she could send a contract. How soon do you think, would you want that in the near future? or-
Yes, you can send the contract.
Okay, all right.
Then we'd have it in hand, at least we'd know we're done.
Yeah.
Should I do that with
Yeah.
Mike then too, from the inflatables, just have him send you the price quote
Yes,
stuff,
and it-
or?
Yeah, if you want her to, so we're gonna do 4 things, the 40-foot obstacle,
Well,
a
we-
bouncy house, a baseball and a basketball.
we'd like to see what the cost is first, but in a perfect world, yes.
Okay,
So we're gonna have to figure out what the,
figured
the-
85.
Cause last year when he sent it to me, he kind of sent me, he didn't send me like last time he sent me a thing where it says if we had this and this, it was this much. If we had this and this, it was that much. If we did this and this, it was
Okay.
that much. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll have him throw together a couple scenarios.
Yeah, and then when he gets it to you, then just send it over to me.
Okay.
That'd be great.
And I missed something here. The climbing wall, do we know the cost on that last year, and which committee member was gonna look into that?
That was
2 rock
Kelly.
walls, we were talking about 2 rock walls next year.
Yeah,
I don't have
Okay,
that one
so
written
I
down.
want to see it was only, wasn't it only like 500?
I don't have, I didn't have anybody assigned to the climbing wall on my sheet.
I don't have mine either.
I thought Kelly was gonna double check on 2 of them.
Kelly was gonna do, I didn't, okay, I
I
don't have
thought,
her on that.
just because she did it last year.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down for her then. I've got the petting zoo.
Well, maybe somebody else should do it.
I can call them. It's Adventure Rock over on Capitol, right?
Venture Run, no. I'm not too sure they have.
You got
one of this,
Yep, okay, cool, thank you.
But I'm sure, I'm not too sure they have 2 climbing walls in the facility. But,
Well, and
I bet
you know, it
they, I
takes,
bet
it
they
takes
would.
less than 2 seconds down.
That's right.
We'll find out.
Are you gonna do that?
Yes.
Not gonna have a sled thing, right? It's not gonna,
correct, it's been
it's been too.
If
That's
we-
what I thought.
either too cold, too icy, lack of snow,
Yeah, no problem.
conditions were not favorable.
So- I was just thinking on the, for the, if she, wants to do 11:30 to 3:30, maybe there's a sign that's put up there that says last ride out at 3:15 or something to let people know that if they come up there that, I don't know, just a thought on that.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Cause it's such a popular.
Or can that go on the flyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably should.
11:30 to
Mhm.
3:30
Yeah, we probably should. That's a great point too.
or 11:30 to 3:15.
Right. because
So
that
people-
rides
Last ride at
3:15.
3:15.
That's right.
Yeah, great idea.
And then,
Okay,
we talked about 2 face painting and 2 balloon people.
that's Marlene.
And then we still have the music to think about and the costs associated with that, so.
Mhm.
Who was gonna do the music?
Band,
Was that Fender Benders?
Fender Benders, but I did,
No,
I've
I thought
got
we
the
were
beer,
gonna
the
do- I thought
balloons,
we
the
were gonna
face
do some
painter.
magic show type thing or something instead of
Options Club.
music.
oh,
maybe.
I was gonna do the magic show. I've got a name of somebody in Pewaukee to do that, to call. I apologize, I've been away and just have not gotten to it, so I'll have that all for next time.
So who's doing the,
There was, I had
music.
something, an Elvis impersonator. Did anybody write that one down?
I sent you that, but that would be instead of, like instead of,
Oh, the guy in the guitar?
the music. Fender Bender.
But you know what,
So-
I guess, I mean, he's one guy and he does all his,
It's just
I mean-
strictly for them. Fender Bender is for everybody.
right,
Yeah.
I prefer Fender Benders just because it would
Mm.
appeal to more.
Who was gonna call them? Did you have them? yet?
I didn't have them, no, I think
Yeah,
you.
I think you've got it.
Why, she got all the information. I was gonna do some, but not all of it.
I don't have the music written down, just the band was $750 from last time, so.
Yeah, it's.
Do you wanna call them and see if they have that date available? Okay. That's if we do Fender Bender.
We talked about
We-
maybe doing, you know,
Taekwondo or.
yeah.
or
Yeah,
a
JK Lee and
cheer.
Taekwondo, I had,
or a
yeah, and the
cheer thing.
dance academy,
And
I've got that,
I
yeah.
talked to Attitude Dance when I was at their groundbreaking, and they were very excited about, she said, we definitely would put something together. She's got different types of dance that they could put different shows on at different times.
Now, or if we do that, it would have to be on the stage.
Mhm.
So then, do we want, you can't have a band playing for 4 hours or taking off, or do we want to do like taekwondo, the dance, and something else on the stage? Instead of having a music band, or you're gonna have a separate stage? Have the music
I don't
and
know, but if
then,
you have a separate stage and you have music going on that other
that's
stage,
what I'm,
it's going to
Interfere.
interfere
Right.
with the dance or the magician or the taekwondo. I mean, you want to hear them, the taekwondo people yelling.
because then you could not have the big band, but make out the dancers are gonna be from this time to this time, and then somebody else, maybe the dancers again. On the stage, and you can always check, my neighbor does play the music on the guitar.
Or maybe we do a DJ instead of a band. If we're gonna have a lot of things peppered in there.
But a DJ would still be playing and set up.
Well, I mean, you'd stop and there would be a performance by the dance company and then play a couple songs and then you do the Taekwondo show and.
Yeah, but if they got equipment up on the stage, they can't,
No,
you got your, yeah.
that's
Need
too much going on.
You need a separate, which, last time, when that one group that I found last minute, Mike just went, he just got the big pieces of.
Use them for something
And
else.
then he was able to repurpose them and use them again
Yeah.
for something else for the town. He used them up at the garage or something. So it was an investment that was used
Yeah.
at least twice, so. And that way you would have a safe, solid surface for the performers.
Because if we let's just say
Do
if
we
you
have
have
something up at the Parks Department for that? Do we have a stage?
Mike made one out of
Yeah, Mike,
plywood.
yeah, he went and got the big piece of plywood because the one band insisted they did not want to
Play on
be on
grass.
the grass. They were afraid of being electrocuted. Now, I don't know if fender benders, we didn't do it last year for them. But the group, the 2 years before, insisted that they have solid footing, not grass to stand on.
Yeah.
And so Mike, and I mean, all this came together. I found out on the Thursday and Mike went and got it
Yep,
on
it worked
Friday
out.
and he had them up there Saturday.
Right, well,
And-
I wrote down that we'll check with Mike about a stage.
The thing is, like, if you have, instead of having a band playing from 11 to 4, if you have like, your, what's the thing I'm thinking of here now? Oh, here it is. The attitude dance, would they be out there for an hour? Or for 45 minutes? And then somebody else come up, the taekwondo, and then the attitude dance come back again, or maybe some music in between.
We'd have to schedule it out
You'd have to schedule it out.
and check to see what's best.
Are like the Taekwondo and the dance company, are they doing it for a charge for a show? Or are
I
they
don't know.
doing it For advertising for their group?
They're
Mhm.
doing it for advertising
Yeah.
for their group.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would then
So
lower.
they probably have somebody
Walking around.
Walking around with a hat.
with, yeah, not with a hat, with
Flyers.
information, flyers.
I
I would
know the
guess.
cost of not having a band, $700,000 to be utilized in other ways.
But would we
The
have,
other thing that'd be nice is to maybe have instead of a band, talk to the 2 high schools and see if they have band groups.
Or like the jazz ensemble or the choir or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
you're talking June though, so you have to check out.
Yeah,
That's a week after
I mean,
school.
yeah,
The band, they're.
I could talk to Bill about playing his guitar. He sings beautiful music for
Is
all
he-
ages.
Is he at Hamilton or Arrowhead?
No, he's my neighbor.
Is he the one that was here? He was here,
Uh-huh,
yeah,
He always came and played for free.
yeah, just as we were setting
He
up,
was
like
good.
before everything got rocking, he was up there. Yeah, he was
Sure we
very
could.
good.
I'm sure we could slot him in.
Yeah.
Have music in between and then have something else and then him again. make a schedule instead of having just a band.
I think, just off the top of my head, I think if, for like attitude dance, I'm sure she's got age group things there.
Does, and she has different
Yeah.
genres.
So I think you stagger it during the day, so you have a constant turnover of people too, that are coming in and out.
Yeah.
Same thing with the karate people, if they have like tests going on, they could do the tests, where you're getting your new belt, and that would, especially, that would get kids excited to see that,
Are they
Yeah, it's
gonna
on
need
here.
hard surfaces or?
Last minutes, 11 to.
Or that?
Yeah.
You'd have to have a stage.
I've got something for a
Just big
station.
enough that they do a dance thing.
Yeah, well, that dance team would, the taekwondo thing wouldn't be as.
Yeah, but I should work.
But yeah.
Cause the taekwondo was up at Sussex and they were doing it on the road.
Yeah, they do it right in their parking lot.
Mhm,
So it's kind of cool when I drive by and all those little kids are out there
mhm,
doing their taekwondo.
I did taekwondo for 4 years.
Did you?
I did.
mhm.
Yeah.
God,
Don't mess
that was a
us up.
long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Me too. Well, you got
Yeah.
enough, now you have enough leeway.
Yep.
So I will not call fender benders. I will call Bill up about music.
I like.
Ask him his fee, I mean, that's.
Oh, Bill, yeah.
So is everybody in agreement that we would maybe not do a live band this time? We'll try, and a DJ, yes, they would need a stage, but much smaller than, like, you might probably do something just separate, just to have like music while there's not something going on, somebody could be playing.
Well-
And we could even have like a playlist on our phones.
And the DJ can announce the next event coming up.
Yeah, true.
Taekwondo coming up in 5 minutes.
Have like an MC.
You know,
Yeah.
that would help.
Well, did you want to look for DJ then instead of just somebody playing? Or you want both?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
It'll be interesting to see, maybe some of them have a minimum 3 or 4 hour gig.
Yeah.
and
Why don't you
price.
check in?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think it actually would be better to have somebody who would be dedicated to doing that, because Marlene, I know things get going while you're there and you're pulled in a lot of different directions, so it'd be
Well,
hard
you have
kinda
to
like-
have somebody who's gonna be the MC, who's gonna be
Right, a
say,
dedicated
okay,
person.
a dedicated person.
Yeah.
One of us is gonna have to say, I will be up there and at this time we're doing this and at that time.
Somebody in the community, that's just a natural, they like to do that, and
Well,
instead of having a regular professional. DJ,
oh yeah,
got
you gotta pay for a DJ.
So I gotta be there 4 hours, I want it this much. But
Do we-
somebody who's really willing to be an MC, that's a natural.
Mhm.
for them, and good luck.
Do we have any celebrities around here?
And you know somebody that's gonna do that, and I'm like.
You
who's gonna do that?
I will. I'll do it.
No, get a DJ, get a regular DJ.
The only thing is if you have a DJ,
When
then
I-
you
when I-
got his
when I talk to
equipment
the
up there
magic-
and then you gotta
magic
move
guy,
to
we
the
can-
side or have a
See
bigger
what-
stage.
Brainstorm that maybe you can do
Yep.
But yeah,
We
a
don't have enough
juggler,
people.
and they don't have
No,
to be the whole 4
That's
hours.
why I'm saying if,
Yeah,
You
just
have
be
to
in and
walk
out.
by for 2
you know,
hours, maybe
I'm,
that's-
I'm only gonna do
Juggler for
this and
2
that's
hours,
it. So
something like that.
anything else comes up.
Just talk about having 4 hours different place.
No, if we have the
It's gonna
attitude
be much
dance
bigger.
and the taekwondo and the music.
You,
Instead
did
of
we
it-
speak to
instead
Michelle
of
about Fight
band.
for Life or the fire trucks or any of that?
We can do that.
You're taking the band away and adding,
And Marlene, you were gonna speak to the Optimist Club about doing the food?
yeah, I haven't done that yet.
I
I got my list here.
think
Okay.
listen
Um,
and,
I would,
I think-
I would suggest that you still keep the band, you know, if you wanna throw it out, fine, but I would still not, at his point, since it's June. I wouldn't delete the band yet. just-
No,
Well, no, don't delete it yet.
no, not yet.
But I think there's
Because
enough to
then,
keep people
you know, because
occupied.
Then, if you have 3 or 4 other things, that needs 3 or 4 other things you have to organize, you have to be there on time. And as you just said, you need somebody that's gonna be the MC. If we do the horses, that's at least 2 to 3 park board members. Okay, and if it's a hot day, you know, I mean, all kinds of things. can
Yeah, well, everybody's gotta show up.
happen.
So,
Who knows, I may be tired.
I agree.
So you
with
can be there
that.
twice then.
yeah, this is
No.
like this.
The Adventure Rock.
Yeah.
Somebody put my name down there because.
I think,
there's so- Yeah, but there's so many people that don't have gotten so many things on their plate. Adventure Rock is, it's not
Oh,
easy.
that was
but let's do
you.
it.
I had you down. on
Well, this-
Adventure Rock.
I just
What's
wrote
that?
myself down on that, yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
so Ed, you're gonna do Adventure
Yeah,
Rock.
I'll do Adventure Rock because
Okay,
I'm
Ed,
Yeah, you weren't here last time to get an assignment.
Yeah.
we have Historical Society, the Citizens Academy, the school bus. We have all those people have to be called too yet. Have you gone through this list?
I mean, I looked at it, but you know, we kind of had our stuff from what we did last
Yeah,
time,
but
so
did you take off from here and check off what we got on there?
I did not do that, no.
There's a whole bunch more here yet that has to be done.
Okay.
It's still only October.
So
Right.
let's, okay,
It's still only October.
okay, so the one thing we did check off is Tracy's got the inflatables done. We're good to go on that. Well, at least we know
And,
where we're headed on that.
And the hoof.
And
beats,
hoofbeats, I'm checking that one off. So, face painters, that's,
I haven't called Sarah yet. She's
okay,
in
no
college.
worries. I'm gonna go down my list. The dentist, Tracy, we're gonna call the dentist too with the balloons. I had you down for that one. The same, no?
No.
No? I had your name written down, but we can go through, we have a, do you have his name from last year?
No, I had a different balloon. There was a different balloon.
Oh, yeah.
kid That was at Pulaski Lake
Mhm.
doing it just for tips. And I guess it was really good. I had his card.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Why don't you check into the balloon
Well,
stuff?
we could use two balloon things, cause that is always got huge lines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if that
And
kid
same
was
with face painting.
walking, yeah, multiple face
Because that
painters.
other balloon guy though that we had and we paid was good.
Yeah, and then you have the dentist.
But he left early.
Well, he was only paid for that long.
Yeah, but so whoever we get, they gotta be there the whole time, I think.
4 hours.
Yeah,
Well, and they have, one can't be working for tips and the other one, the town is paying. Like that, that's gonna be.
Well, I could get in contact with him and see if he would have a charge, if he would just come and
For
do
4
it.
hours.
He's a kid. He came with he's with his dad, so I don't know.
Should Teresa
Yeah.
just do the balloons and pick two?
if you're willing to do that, sure.
I mean, if the dentist wants to go and do the.
I think he said he wanted to come back.
Yeah,
But we're not gonna be doing, vendor booths and all that again this
No.
year.
no,
So
No.
it's gonna have to be a
Well, That's
different
why I was
setup for
surprised
him.
with the school bus. What's the school bus gonna do?
I haven't called,
Yeah.
contacted them.
Yeah.
Then, like I say, you
you
have to go through this
Yeah, we have
list
to go through it.
and you have to see once, we gotta
Maybe
have
we
the
should sit
tops.
down. Call
Yeah.
sometime after a meeting or before.
They
a
have little
meeting.
games set up.
We
didn't
might
they?
have time
Maybe.
today.
Did the
You
bus
gotta
have
go
little-
through this
Yeah.
list and you gotta put on who's doing what and what's left that has to be done.
Yep. Here's, okay,
Yeah, because I have. a
You have that
vague
list.
mention.
yep,
Didn't
I
the
will have
bus
just
have
what
little
we talked
games
about.
set up?
Hmm?
The bus had little games set up, didn't they?
Yeah, they had stuff for the kids and gifts and stuff. Well, hey, and they didn't charge us a penny.
can I see this right now?
But they always go to the Easter
Oh, we-
thing too. They're always at the Easter.
Did we
thing.
want to keep the name of it being a community fest or because we I threw that out last time and we just didn't have time to talk about it. Something to think about, putting something in about it being a kids festival, because it's really not an adult festival and that's what some of our people are going to other
I say we say
places.
family festival, if anything.
family fest.
Lisbon Family Festival.
Yeah.
Lisbon Family Festival.
So I think another thing that we need to talk about too is a much more aggressive marketing approach too, because we really got to get it out there and let people know that we're gonna have, more stuff,
Different stuff.
magic show, like, yeah, just.
No
So we're
more
gonna have to talk
cars.
about a much more aggressive marketing campaign.
Okay.
Does Lisbon have, or like neighborhood X or Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for that, there's a media you wanna go to.
Facebook.
I got the
You don't
next door
want flyers,
website.
You don't want to put it on. You don't want to post one. Just get into that social media profile and bang, because that's the way people under the age of 30 are.
Well, there's that neighborhood or the
Next door.
neighbor next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. know,
Can you
everything
send-
from I lost my mother, like that.
Can you send it out with the tax bills? Can we
Uh,
make a short
well, we-
flyer?
No, we do we
I
do
think
the
it's that.
Easter, but because we don't want to pay for that much more in postage because they throw them out. That's our problem, is most of our people throw out
All the
everything
stuffers.
that's in there except their tax bill.
Yeah.
And
I
then they'll
save
come in and
mine.
will say, "Well, that was in your, do you have all your papers from your tax bill?" And they say, "No."
Then,
Like, "Well, that was in your tax bill."
so we'll need to get flyers to all of the schools. All the schools, we can post up at all the churches, pick and save, like put, put any place that there's like a community billboard, we'll put, make some little poster, stick them up, but also bring flyers out to.
I think Ed is right. If we can find every social,
Right.
Does
Uh,
Natasha have a beat on that?
Well,
She
this is
has
the-
some,
This
yeah.
is the one, Paul. It's the Sussex Lisbon Community
Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah.
That's how I find out what's going on in Lisbon and Sussex. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have to,
Who manages that?
I don't know. I mean, you have to,
it's just a,
you have to
'cause
join it. but you don't-
because I'm on it.
Yeah.
I joined it,
Yeah.
because I have to
Just
figure
pass
out
it
what
around.
they're saying,
Just-
because they
you
say
just see
things
it.
that aren't
It's
positive
great.
also. Although it's not a positive, it's not always positive.
Right, you know, I mean, someone does monitor it, because when people are getting snarky and they're getting inappropriate, somebody does shut that down and say, no, this is not safe, which is good. But that'd be a great venue, a great way to convey.
Yeah, it might be a good way for us to get acts.
Yeah, a lot of people
for the-
post on here this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
Mark
so-
your calendars, number the stars, November 10 to
You
12.
know,
Okay, we'll see you
Hamilton
there.
uses it, you know, for the high school activities, you know, when the
Yeah.
kids are doing a dance or whatever, a little play that's taking place at Hamilton Arts Center. It's on there.
Yeah, again, if you're trying to, if you're reaching, if we're trying to reach young families under the age of 30 or 35, that's the medium.
Yeah,
You don't
that's-
post it on the-
Were you familiar with this
Flyers,
one, Paul?
Wonder if we can get some of the schools that have those automatic things, like the fire
we got-
department has that automatic.
Mhm.
repair. Can they put a blue box
We've
there
had it
once
down
in a
there
while?
before.
On our, but
Health
we
Quest.
also got on the, Natasha got us in the Hamilton flyers that came out electronically. And so she got our events on there last year, so.
Well, my kids haven't been in school in a while, but there was like, the Thursday folder, they called it, and that was when all of that kind of stuff came out, like on one day of the week, you'd have all that stuff in there about what's going on. You could put community events and such in there. All right. They might be electronic now, for all I know.
Yeah, it's probably electronic.
Yeah.
I'm just, being around a lot of teenagers.
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Oh, yeah,
Everything is on the phone.
Of course.
Are you on that?
Yep.
Is this the one you're on?
I doubt it.
And I think having the sign up earlier than was up last time would help. I think last time the sign didn't go up until.
It goes up the Saturday before, because it just says Saturday.
Was it that long?
Doesn't have a date on it. Just has this coming Saturday is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
might want to change our signs.
Okay.
yeah, 2
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah, so
think we're
we've
gonna
got,
have
I'm gonna
to-
make a copy of that, Marlene, too. I'm sure I have it, but I think we're gonna try to talk about it if we have a little extra
Okay.
time. So, so Kathy is gonna also check with Michelle on Flight for Life and the fire department getting there. All right, so we've got some
I
stuff.
wonder if we can get the dog from the sheriff's department.
Oh, the K9,
K9 now.
let's see, but and then Marlene, were you gonna check with the optimists? See if
Yeah,
they were gonna
That's
do
on
the-
my list.
And then, are you gonna reach out to this company that donated all that alcohol last
Yep.
time too?
I got the beer, the balloons, the face painter, Optimist Club, and my neighbor
I
Bill.
thought balloons was Tracy.
Is balloons Tracy? Okay, and I
Um,
will take balloons off my list.
Booze, face painting, and what else?
Optimist Club, and I'll talk to my neighbor about playing his guitar.
food and booze.
And food.
I got
Yeah.
food and booze.
Food, booze, face
I-
painting,
you know,
Optimus.
I still like a band. just for
Optimus
what
is
it's worth. I'm just saying, I think a band would be nice.
Okay, well, we haven't ruled it out. We're,
No,
we're in discussion.
Okay, I mean, granted, we're not having classic car show, that was an adult thing, we're not having crafters,
That was an
that's
adult
good.
thing.
But you know, it is nice to have music on a Saturday afternoon.
then you have to have 2 stages.
But
Well,
you,
it's just a matter of that plywood. I mean, it wasn't a big deal 2 years ago when Mike did it. I
Well-
don't believe, but again, we should probably check with Mike. Yeah, as I
got it
said,
down.
Well, but
it all came down 2 days before and he was able to.
Yeah.
get the wood, he put it down on the ground. And it was.
we could also have the band, if we do the band, we could have the band set up in exactly the same place it was last time.
Right.
And do the dance and karate thing over where the vendors were. Cause I don't think the music is gonna be too loud if it's over there. I don't know, we'd have to think
They're
about it.
projecting that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'd have to think about it, but it's,
Yeah.
maybe.
So, yeah, just keep in mind that that's $750, and if nobody's standing over there because they're all watching the kids
Kids doing
dance
this
on the
stuff.
other side because they got all these kids. They brought their swarm of kids with them. They might be more,
That would be the-
more adapted to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
If they were gonna sit and watch a show for 20 minutes or 45 minutes, they're probably gonna be more apt to grab, you know, a brat and a soda with whoever's gonna be watching them do their little performance. And I mean, I like a band too, but this is more I think,
Kid oriented.
family geared towards the kids. And I think when we walked around, because we were selling those raffle tickets, I want to say most of the people that were there were either some of the car show people were there, or
Mhm.
else their own groupies.
Groupies,
What,
yeah.
I guess.
What were you raffling off? Cause we don't.
For the
have a
car show.
license.
Oh, it was a. That's.
Was it
Joe
big
asked us if we would go around for
Because
that.
Joe Mama must have had it then.
Yeah.
Car show
Big-
raffle.
Okay.
Yeah, he
because
asked
we didn't
us.
have the,
No.
we don't have a license.
so I think, do we need to think about having chairs available if it's gonna be like a 20 or 30 minute show to watch?
got the
or
tables.
Bleachers.
bleachers,
We got the
bleachers,
tables.
yeah.
too.
something like that?
Maybe just put more tables out, then people will sit with food in front of them.
All right,
Okay, we can worry about that.
Or rental.
Okay,
all right, okay.
we're done.
Okay, so we're just gonna table the discussion of the 5-year
Five-year
park
plan.
plan till next time.
Okay.
Okay, anybody have any other thoughts for agenda items for next meeting? Okay, anybody want to make a motion on adjournment?
So.
Seconded.
Marlene? All in
All.
favor?
I.
Okay, very good. Okay, I'm gonna make a copy of this really quick.
Okay,
I'm sure I have it, but I just want to keep everything.
yeah, make two right away, because
Sure. have
I,
the,
did I send it to you?
I'm gonna go through this.
You asked me to send it to you and I usually do it right away.
Yeah.
But
It's possible, and it's probably in the park folder. So,
Someplace.
you know, on the network, in the park folder.
Okay.
Kathy,
Yes.
I'll talk.
Hold on a second.
They're amenable to same idea.